Что ж, дамы и господа, эти два джентльмена встретились в огненном ринге еще в мае. И в субботу вечером этот огонь вспыхнет с новой силой. Я хочу начать пресс-конференцию с Тайсона Фьюри. На этот раз претендента. С Тайсоном мы общались несколько раз на этой неделе. Я пересмотрел некоторые из твоих интервью, и ты сказал, что дело не в искуплении, не в мести и даже не в возвращении титулов. Так что я просто хочу узнать, чего ждать от Тайсона Фьюри в субботу вечером. Я собираюсь причинить Усику много боли. Я точно отправлю этого говнюка на больничную койку. Тайсон, кажется, сейчас в тебе появилось что-то особенное из-за того проигрыша. Кажется, от тебя веет какой-то дополнительной угрозой. Мне нечего сказать, кроме того, что в этом бою, который вы увидите, ему будет очень больно. Это все, что я могу сказать. Разговор окончен. В прошлом бою я решил пошутить, впервые за всю свою карьеру. Но на этот раз я серьезен. Я собираюсь натворить много страшных дел в эту субботу. Увидите, как я поработаю над этим говнюком. Спасибо, Тайсон. Теперь послушаем действующего чемпиона Александра Усика. Мы уже услышали, что хочет сделать Тайсон Фьюри. Чем же нам ответит Александр Усик? Добрый вечер, дамы и господа, дорогие друзья. Сейчас мы просто разговариваем, все основное будет в ринге 21 декабря. Сейчас это шоу перед камерами. 21 декабря все будет серьезно. А теперь давайте узнаем финальные слова от обоих бойцов. Тайсон. В 2015 году перед боем с Владимиром Кличко ты сказал ему, что его время истекло, а твое время пришло. Перед реваншем с Донатеем Уайлдером ты сказал ему, что сразишь его огонь своим огнем и пройдешь через него. Что бы ты хотел сказать Усику перед вашим реваншем в субботу вечером? Не могу дождаться субботы. Спасибо всем, кто принимал в этом участие. Да благословит нас Господь. Спасибо тебе, Тайсон. И заключительные слова действующего чемпиона. Ты говорил Тайсону Фьюри, что не оставишь его в покое. Что бы ты хотел сказать Тайсону в преддверии субботы? Не бойся. Я не оставлю тебя одного. Увидимся в субботу. Вот и все, дамы и господа. Большое спасибо. Совсем скоро мы будем позировать для поединков только перед главным событием. Спасибо. Друзья, а битва взглядов получилась сумасшедшая и, наверное, побила рекорд мира. В общем, посмотрите сами. Никто не хотел отводить взгляд первым. Вот это напряжение! Какие прогнозы на реванш? За кого будете болеть? За Усика или за Фьюри? Пишите ваше мнение в комментариях. И не забывайте ставить царские лайки и подписываться на канал. Вам не сложно, нам приятно.
Couple for the first one that fell out of bed, then one for the new one, then maybe one when they were here. This is at least the second time they've done this. The first, so on 7 or 8, comfy.
Yeah, no, it must be, and you can see that Fury just cannot wait to get to Saturday night. He knows he's 1-0 down. He knows that there isn't really too much he can say when that's the score, and he hasn't really attempted to say too much. Usyk had another great entrance there. They're still enjoying this. They're still going to town a little bit. Alex Krasik got quite lyrical. They still got that glint in their eye, Team Usyk, that they always have, like they know something we don't.
And in the past, they have known something that we don't. They've known how to beat whoever it is in the opposite corner. I'm looking at them now. Let me just turn around now. I need to see this with my own eyes. Now, I think that is a harsher, steelier look than we've seen in the past. That looks a little bit more serious than normal. Intent. No one's breaking that, Andy.
No, it's going to be tricky.
No one's breaking that now.
To get them to turn away here, they might need a piece of paper to put it between them so that that gate
This is quite fiery, this.
There's just a sense here that...
Yeah, a real sense of something.
Something could happen because you see the security just gather and you can feel it. You can feel that whiff of cordite sometimes, that something's about to go off.
And you never felt that at any other stare-off between these two. This is the first time I've been present at one of their stare-offs. It's probably about the full 4/5 stare-off. It's never been this intense, never.
And it's going to take one of the team members here to convince either one of them that this long stare down needs to be broken. They stared into each other's souls for 12 rounds, didn't they, back in May, and they saw no weakness, and they're continuing to do it now, and they still see
They're still looking, but they've not found it, Andy. This is incredibly intense. It's maybe not going to set records for stare downs, but they've stared down now longer than they've ever done in the past, and it's about as intense as I've seen it. No comedy, no faces, just a glare and a stare.
Neither one is switching even a fibre of a muscle. They are absolutely still. They're like statues.
How long do you leave them, Andy? What do you think?
I don't really know how you go about separating people in this situation. I mentioned a piece of paper you can put between them just to break the gaze, but it takes quite a brave person, honestly, to put their hands on either one of these two in this kind of situation, because they're in the zone here.
Yeah.
They're not really aware of anything that's going on outside of this.
They have no idea. And what's interesting, Alec Krasser, who I would expect to be on Usyk's shoulder, he's not. He's 4 people back. And there's no one close to Tyson apart from Brendan, his personal security. So I'm thinking it's going to be Brendan touches. I'm trying to see the body language of the people surrounding them, which way they fancy going, because this is really intense.
It's amazing, they're not even blinking. It's like looking at a pair of waxworks in Madame Tussauds. And this is important to them now. It's gone on this long. You cannot be the first person to look away.
Absolutely. After 30 seconds with a smile, you can do it. 40 seconds. But we've gone to a different level here. We've gone to a new arena for these two.
Spencer Brown just craning his neck to get a good look over from the far side there. The cameramen staying exactly where they are. Alec Krasser just making a
was
motion.
signalling to someone. Did you see that? Was he signalling to Sergei Lapin? Maybe.
And Fury's gone into that place. They both have in this current moment, but in camp as well, he's gone into that place. He's gone for that old school seclusion where he's really just sat in the misery of defeat. He claims otherwise, that he didn't really take time to process it.
Rubbish.
It is what it is.
Yeah, rubbish.
That's not what they do.
Absolute rubbish. You know and I know that's not the case. He's in a hole, he's been in a hole, and it's a dark hole and it's a black hole, and he's been in those places before. He's battled in his head every single moon and every single night, Alexander Usik. He's never going to admit it, but we know it. You can see it in his eyes.
This is amazing.
I wish we'd have run a clock over this, Andy.
How long is this going to go on for? Because, as you said, we've got to the point now, so far past the point of no return with this. Somebody is going to have to look away, and neither one of them is going to give any ground here. It's who gets out of the sauna first. Nobody wants to get out first.
Perhaps we need here, this is when Frank Warren or Bob Arum. Bob Arum's left the stage. I believe Frank Warren has too. So we're left with other people, maybe people that would maybe have a risk stepping in between them. Turki Al-Sheikh left the stage several minutes ago.
I think really he's the only person in this situation who can handle this, because if you're a team member of Usyk or Fury, I would be very reluctant to try and tell either one of them, look, we need to go, because they won't like it. They won't take kindly to it.
And I can see Spencer Brown has now got closer. Krassik's moved a little bit closer. Krassik and Spencer Brown are laughing. I'm looking at their lips. I don't think they're talking, Andy. I think it's just the face, just the eyes, just the look.
And that's the scene. It's just encapsulated perfectly below that banner, reignited. Usyk Fury 2. We're a couple of days away, and this week, as we said at the start, we hit the ground running. We were at full throttle straight away because we had the story from May, we had the narrative in place. We saw immediately. We did a sit-downs on Monday, Stephen. Anyone who went anywhere near Fury, you could get the vibe off him straight away, aura off him, that things were different. Things were different this time. No fun and games. He wasn't relaxed at the start of the week. He just wanted to get down to business. And Usyk has always been that way. He's always been that way, and there's not really anything anyone can do here.
Andy, I think we might be up to 6 or 7 minutes here. I really do. I wish we'd have kept a bit of movement from Fьюри. Just his shoulders moving. He's not talking, but they are nodding at each other. So they're communicating with their eyes, Andy.
He threw us a feint there, Tyson, didn't he? Just
a little movement, yeah.
People might wonder why this is important, why does it matter? You don't win a fight in a stare down, that's what people say, but when it gets to this kind of level, this kind of length, now it does matter.
And Lennox Lewis would disagree with you. He said, I'd win my fights at the press conference, at the weigh-in, in the ring before the first bell. Everyone talks about Mike Tyson taking people's souls beforehand. He does it.
Maurizio Sulaiman has just
someone's pulling
to the stage here. Maurizio Sulaiman is getting in the middle of the two of them. I saw Spencer Brown just kind of called him up, and they're trying to use him as that impartial.
They're slightly further apart now, Andy, as well. There are now hundreds of people surrounding, cameras, lenses everywhere, microphones being dropped in. The security are trying to work out an easy exit way. The two boxers are now a foot further apart. Tyson shaking his head. There's a lot of people in the middle. Maurizio Sulaiman is pleading. He's pleading with Usik, Andy, pleading.
It's been going 7 minutes, I'm told. What they're going to have to do here is they're going to have to make sure these two both reverse out, aren't they? Nobody's going to want to turn around, but if they get them separated by enough distance, eventually they'll lose that eye contact.
But Andy, they're in a standoff, a cul-de-sac of their own emotions. This is not going to be easy to reverse from. They're not going to break into smiles, shake each other's hands and walk off and grab a soft drink on the way to their hotel rooms.
Well, somebody's holding up an accreditation there, and I think that was
to try and break the stare.
To try and break the stare. This is where Tyson Fьюri being 6'9" is really unhelpful, because if you have somebody the same height or a couple of really big lads, you could get them in there and block his gaze.
Maurizio Sulaiman of the WBC, he's now appealing to Brendan, big Brendan, who goes everywhere with Tyson Fьюri. Brendan's talking back, and I don't think it's necessarily very good what he's saying. No one's going to break these two. They're going to do this until at some mutual point, or worse, something happens.
Usyk's just kind of moving on the balls of his feet there. And people watching might be wondering, why doesn't somebody just get...
на этом все, друзья. Выпуск переведен и озвучен командой True Gym. Поддержите видео лайком и комментарием. Для нас это важно. Всем добра и удачи. Пока.